There's tons of plot. You see
Here we
those
go.
shirtless guys?
That's not a plot.
That's plot.
That's not a plot.
That's not a
Politics
plot.
happen here and there.
I need more than some abs to redeem a movie.
I
for
just
me.
need abs. Welcome back to the big room, where every episode we have a new freaking setup.
Yes.
Never get comfortable
No.
between us and Carl.
Well,
Holy crap! At least Nick is consistent.
I'm consistent.
He'll be in that room for the rest of time.
Forever.
Is a lie, because eventually he'll be in this room once I buy more cameras. So you join us in the middle of a argument because Nick thinks I'm a psychopath for my Oreo
actual
eating,
monster.
for my Oreo eating behavior.
Danielle, Carl,
Oh, yeah.
you open up the pantry. You go into the pantry. You see a box of Oreos, a sleeve of Oreos. How many do you get?
How many are in the sleeve?
Exactly.
I can't
Minimum-
control myself. When I pull that pin and throw that grenade, I don't know that the whole bag makes it out.
You get a
thi-
glass of milk.
I wake up and the next day with crumbs on my face. Like, what happened? Like, it's bad. I respect your, control, but I
yeah.
can't. That's not the life I live.
I get between 1 and 3, and then the other,
One is insane to me.
Between
I'll
one
go,
and three
I'll go
sleeves
rip
for
that
me.
thing open. I'll go, and I'll just pull one out and I'll close it and walk away.
I will also get one sometimes, but
So-
I usually go back for a second.
But the
You
other
would.
night,
He's rubbed off on you.
the other night when you were in LA, this was I
Like a
think
cool
I think
person.
this was the day after we did Good, Bad, the Ugly. After we recorded that
Yeah.
episode, Nick and I were playing Fortnite, and Carl was going to join us in a Gentleman's 30, which turned out to be we're still waiting for him to play this again.
We haven't played.
I think a
since.
Gentleman's 30 is approximately a fortnight, which, given the game we were playing, is appropriate. However,
Yeah.
I got 2 Oreos that night, and I walked to the desk, and I had one in my face. And I said, Nick, guess how many Oreos I left in the packaging? And he said, how many? And I left 1
You're insane.
in the packaging. And she actually ate it when she got back.
Yeah, I was the one who ate
I
it.
left
It was,
that
to be
Oreo.
clear,
It was there for
if there's
days.
only one, I'll eat the one.
Yeah, no.
But
There was also
To
a
leave
full,
one.
It
a
is
brand
crazy to
new
leave
one. There was a
Yeah.
brand new package underneath that one. So I had more even, but I just didn't want 3. I wanted 2. So I left that one for days. She ate it when she got back.
I
That's
think
ridiculous.
a worse thing though is we'll eat dinner, right? And Cameron will immediately go and get ice cream. And I'm like, you can't have dessert like
We'll eat like,
0.2 seconds after we've had like salmon.
yeah, we'll eat
I
salmon.
said salmon.
We'll eat some salmon.
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 With salmon.
you can
And
have
then I'll-
dessert immediately.
No,
Yeah.
You can't. No, you can't.
You do it in a
You
restaurant.
gotta wait.
That's true. We do in a restaurant.
You do it in a
Do it
restaurant.
in a restaurant.
Well, there
You
is
eat your
time.
salmon, and they go, "Do you want
There
dessert?"
is,
And you say,
yeah,
"Yeah."
but there's still time for them to bring it to you. So there
Yeah,
is
that's
some
true,
delay.
that's
You
true.
literally will put.
I don't know, man. I went to
the.
the worst restaurant the other day, Cheesecake Factory,
Ooh.
and we
Was
ordered
it the worst?
cheesecake after our meal, and it's already made, so they just brought out a bunch of cheesecake, and it was quite heavy.
You and I both know that's not the
Yeah.
worst restaurant. All right. So the movie we watched this week was 300. I don't know why I spaced on that. You know why I spaced on that? Is I thought, what would 300 be in Roman numerals?
Please,
They're Greek.
please tell
so
us.
I think it'd be 3 C's, right? Wasn't C
I don't know.
100?
I think C was 100.
Not sure.
So I think it'd be CCC. But it doesn't matter because
No, I'm gonna Google it.
the Spartans didn't use that alphabet because
Oh,
they were
'cause
Greek.
They were Greek.
They weren't Roman.
That makes sense.
It's Greeks and Persians, you guys. So Nick got his wish this week with a movie under 2 hours. Yay, Nick! Under 2 hours.
We love that for you.
I'm still gonna complain about it.
You didn't like it. We watched 300. Came out in 2006. I was 11 years old when this movie came
Ooh.
out.
Wow.
And so were you.
was-
I was
so don't
too.
say wow. We were children.
I was 13.
It was a joint. Wow.
2006. So, notable year. I don't remember anything that happened in 2006. This is my first Zack Snyder movie.
Ooh.
If all Zack Snyder movies are like this, I'm out on Zack Snyder. I'll just say that right now. That dude. And from the other movies, so it's weird because I just know about Zack Snyder from him being clowned on for his DC movies.
Yeah.
However,
I what other movies has he done?
I guess the Snyder Cut was good, right?
That was
That's what they say.
Justice League?
The Justice League.
Justice League.
The Snyder Cut was also like 4 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a 4-hour movie.
I don't know.
No.
DC needed help, and now it has it. Maybe. Who cares? Who
Supposedly.
cares? Superhero movies are
Really?
dumb, and that's why there are none on this list, except for Hellboy,
Except for Hellboy.
and there never will be because I hate them. The movie's called Iron Man. I wonder if he'll be alive at the end of it.
I mean,
so Gerard Butler, also my first Gerard Butler movie. I looked at that guy's IMDb while watching this and recognized literally nothing else.
I thought you watched the Phantom of the Opera one time because you were in
did
love.
watch the
Because
Phantom
I
of the
liked
Opera.
the Phantom of the Opera and Cameron
I
liked
didn't even
me.
know he was in there.
Yeah, I was like
So-
14 years old. Like, she likes Phantom of the Opera. I'll watch it, and it sucks. Don't watch that.
No, it's so good.
It sucks.
It's better
he's
than
in
this.
Law Abiding Citizen, which
Never
is
heard of it.
That's another pretty
Great
good
movie.
one.
All
Yeah.
right. I mean,
You gotta abide by the law.
That's one of those like revenge movies that's
Oh God.
pretty great.
never mind.
Revenge movies.
Did I like Gerard Butler in this? I don't know. I feel like there was
Ooh.
a fair bit of overacting in this movie.
That's kind of what the movie was.
And
though.
Oh,
so
man.
let's straight
Let's
away.
get into it.
Straight away, the well scene, which is the meme.
Yeah.
This is
Yep.
Sparta. Nick, do you have a fact on that? Because I know that was. Correct me if
No,
I'm
I c-
wrong. I believe I saw in it or read in an interview recently that that was like take $1 billion for Gerard Butler, and I believe that it was supposed to be a more reserved "This is Sparta" delivery. Like he has a lot of like "This is Sparta" like low lines. You know what I mean? And I think he got fed up with not giving the director what he wanted, so he just screamed.
He
And
was
they were
like, "This movie's gonna suck. Who cares?"
No, this movie's amazing.
Cake Town, and then he kicked the dude down the well, and wells aren't that deep, y'all.
That's what I was like. How
Bro,
did they get a
it is.
well
What-
that deep? What did they do?
Why do you have a pit that big?
To kick these
Who
guys
did it? Who
down.
dug
Kick
it?
these guys down.
Why?
Yeah.
made this pit?
I bet.
How long does that even take?
I bet after the cameras cut
Not a
in
pig.
You
whatever.
scoff at the pyramids.
I was
Yeah,
in it,
yeah.
the pit.
I bet in 480 BC.
I was in it, the pit.
I bet in 480 BC, right after whatever passed his cameras for then cut after Gerard Butler kicked those dudes down that well, he turned around and went, "Thank the gods for that well." Am I right? Like, glad we built that to kick these dudes down.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And the Persians are like doing the Spy Kids. How long have we been falling? I don't know. My watch doesn't tell
Yeah,
time.
they
As
just-
go
they-
down the-
I forgot
They
about
pop out on the other side of the world.
and that's how we got Indians. It was those guys. That's a little known fact. The
boy.
first Native Americans were Persians from when Leonidas kicked them down the well to the other side of the world.
History with Cameron.
Look it up.
it.
I'm a history man.
Look it up.
So Gerard Butler's super jacked. Everyone's jacked in this movie. I also, when I didn't expect Michael Fassbender's teeth to be in this movie.
Oh yeah.
With
They should
the
get, like,
rest
a
of Michael
part credit.
Fassbender attached to him, obviously, but what he's mostly teeth. That guy, you know those
Dude,
like
every
wind up.
Spartan talks with so much teeth.
Yeah, and you know those
So
like
funny.
wind up chattering teeth. Those are just Michael
That's Michael
Fassbender action
Fassbender.
figures. Yeah, that's just he's all teeth. And then the movie is entirely narrated by Faramir from Lord of the Rings, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about expectations?
Oh, sure. Let's talk about expectations instead of Michael Fassbender's freaking jaw.
Well, that's an important topic to cover.
So
This is
for
not-
my expectations going into this movie were, my friend Steven and I used to watch one of the scenes when a Spartan throws one of the javelins at a horsebound Persian. Horseback riding, a horseman. A Persian member of the cavalry, and it like blows him back in a hysterically unrealistic way, and we called it the shotgun spear and laughed for 100 years.
Hey, it wasn't that funny.
It's not that
In
funny.
case you were wondering,
It's not that
listeners,
funny, but when you're
viewers.
15, it's hilarious. It was like, in what's the last movie we watched? Django Unchained, when Django like shoots that candy lady. and she like flies
Was
off.
Laura Lee or
Oh yeah,
something?
Laura.
Yeah, and she like flies off the screen, and it's hilarious. That's like what I remember Shotgun Spear being that dramatic, and it really wasn't. But it was still. That's all I knew.
I
I knew
don't know
Shotgun
what
Spear
scene you're talking about.
because it's not memorable at all. You don't know what scene I'm talking about because it's not a scene. It's just like a thing that happens.
Yeah.
It's one of the least cool fighting moments. But we thought it was great for some
It's
reason.
impressive.
I did still, when it happened, point at the TV and go, Shotgun Spear. So, Steven, if you're listening, Shotgun Spear. What else did I expect? I expected weirdly more dicks. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Really let down, huh?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be 300 dicks.
I wanted 300 dicks. I don't know. I thought that Xerxes
Spears was a euphemism.
I thought Xerxes was gonna whip it out. I don't know. He's a giant man. Show me that meat.
Backside.
Show me that meat.
See, I thought just even having just like the bumps with their little panties was enough.
They're bumps.
Like, I was like, am I gonna have to stare at 300?
All right, we can talk about dicks later. Let's get through more. I expected more dicks. That's my expectation. Who's next? Someone that's not. It's Carl. What did you? Had you seen the movie before? Had any of us seen it before?
I had seen it before.
Okay.
And I genuinely and unironically love this movie.
It's a
you
good
would.
movie. It's a good movie.
To me, it held up better than I remembered.
I don't know about that.
We can get into it more. Well, I just think like I didn't really understand cinematography, and this movie really doubles down on the cinematography. Like it is so dramatic and so over the top. And the stylization of it, I think, is perfect for the drama of like the classical term epic story.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those where it's like in any other movie it wouldn't work, but because the story is so big, so epic, I think the Zack Snyder did like a great thing in matching it with these slow-mo shots, these ridiculous drawn-out stylizations. The color grading is so dramatic. I think it's perfect for what it is. Like I love it.
It's like it's a dude movie, right?
It's definitely a bro movie. It's definitely
movie.
very like traditional masculine values, you know. Like, but it's what it does great.
I
So
think
unapologetically love it.
I think I did expect a little more Gladiator. You know?
Yeah.
Have you seen Gladiator?
No.
Good Lord. Has
I
anybody
don't know what
seen
you're talking
Gladiator?
No.
Oh. Maybe instead of 300, we should have watched Gladiator.
Well, you said
Or Troy.
It's movies that I haven't seen Troy, but I had seen Gladiator, so it couldn't be on the list. But Gladiator is more.
you said it was like harder to watch.
It
More
is harder to
grounded.
watch because there's
I'm
some.
glad we did.
There's
watch
like
it.
his. Never mind. I'm not going to spoil Gladiator. We'll watch it one of these days, maybe next year. But
Yay.
no, it's Gladiator has more drama and it's a little more grounded than 300. It's less of a superhero movie and more of a drama.
This is very like a legend. Like you're getting like the the story that you wanted them to tell at the end of it.
So we should mention before we let Nick and Danielle go. We should mention that this is. I heard this movie when I was researching it a bit. References like it's a hyperbole of a legend, so it's like extra over the top and very stylized, as Carl mentioned, because it's actually the movie is based on the graphic novel that's based on the historical event. So the Battle of Thermopylae is real. And
facts of effects.
Right. Like, so we're really playing telephone here with the facts. So I looked up and watched a couple videos on the actual history of the Battle of Thermopylae, and it's like the cliff notes are true, but the way everything is portrayed is like hyperbole. It's hyperbolic. So there's not a hunchy guy that betrayed.
Yeah, it's propaganda
what I mean?
for Greece and Sparta to get into the war. That's the story we're getting.
So, Nick, what did you expect going in? Did you know anything? Did you have anything to expect from?
I didn't know anything.
You didn't know it was real, right?
Well, I knew it was sort of real.
Okay.
I mean, we had talked about what you just said, where it was like loosely whatever.
Yeah.
So I had some kind of expectation, and it at least did that, where it was like, yeah, it was a dude bro war grunt fight movie.
Well, you
But-
love to grunt.
Freaking zero redeeming qualities outside of that.
Oh no,
Oh,
Nick.
I think you're
Dude,
judging it
was
too harsh.
trash. It
You're
was
judging it too
trash,
harsh.
dude.
No.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I- man's trash.
Here's my thing. It
You know what else is
could have
trash?
been about. It was about the Spartans and the Persians, but it could have been about any two people because there was no plot, there was
Ooh.
no character building, there was nothing other than fight.
He's not wrong.
Well,
He's
yeah.
not
You
wrong.
know why?
And they
You
were
know why?
it was kind of cool fight scenes, but for 2 hours
You know
Were
why?
they? Were
All the
they?
character development you got. Oh, go ahead, Cameron.
Because
Sorry.
it's
there
it's-
was none.
It's because it's 2,500-year-old history, and they didn't.
Okay,
write-
but you're making
and
a movie.
Leonidas' favorite
You're
color.
going-
I was gonna say
They- in
you get all the character
cuneiform.
You
development in the very
didn't. You
beginning.
didn't even get his wife's name.
And
or his son's
Leonidas'
name.
wife's name was. Nobody
That
cares.
seems like an
Couldn't make it
important
up.
part of a movie.
Her name
You
is.
have a character, give her a name.
Her name is Queen Gorgo. It's right here on the big
You
phone.
had to look it up.
Yeah, it's research. And also, they say
I-
it. He mostly calls her my queen, but I think they say that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who knows?
Who cares?
only
It's
gets-
old history. Nobody knows what Leonidas' favorite food was. It's important that they fought at 300 and then died. What
Yeah.
did you expect going in
Um,
into the Dude Bro movie?
So I expected a video gamey dude
Mhm.
bro
Correct.
movie. I like Nick though. I expected there to be some more plot and not just like fighting.
There's
the-
tons of plot. You saw
we
those
go.
shirtless guys?
That's not a plot.
That's plot.
That's not a plot.
That's not a
Politics
plot.
happen here and there.
I need more than some abs to redeem a movie.
I
for
just
me.
need abs.
Well, we
Abs
are
and
just different
speedos.
in that
That's
way, I
all this
guess.
movie was.
abs. and
Freaking speedos.
I like
Absolutely.
that you went into it wanting
Stupid.
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
may
look
be
at the
my
movies
fault.
we're coming off of
It
too.
may be my fault
True.
because 80% of this list is like greatest movies ever that I haven't seen,
Yeah.
and then 20% of it is 300 and the Muppets movie.
And
And Hellboy 2.
Whose suggestion
the
was
mummy,
300?
yeah.
Mine. I actually put
Okay.
300 in
Well,
because
screw you. This movie sucks.
It's definitely a must watch. I don't know if it's the
Yes!
greatest of all
What?
time, but
A
it's
must
for
no.
Must.
So
It's
it's
Steven,
one of those like
no.
go ahead. Yeah.
Nick said what did you say it was dumb or plotless or whatever? You know what else is dumb?
All of it.
You know what else is? You know what other movie is dumb but awesome? Transformers. Stupid movie, but it's great. It's
Yeah.
great.
You would.
The
You
first
would
one,
like
only the
Transformers.
first
It's
one.
one of those that comes along at the right time.
Yeah.
Like this movie came along at the right time and it did something unique. Like no other movie we've watched is anything like this movie in the way that it's stylized and the way that it's done, the sound design.
Badly?
Like this movie's
Gray?
unique. It's this. Wait, what?
I hope this whole show is just me and
Gray.
Carl going, "Was that the best?" And Daniel's like, "Boo."
Me
I
and
really.
Nick.
There's something about this movie
I
I,
got you,
really
Danielle.
like. I really,
Love it
it's
together.
so
It's 'cause
good. The
it's dumb
stylization,
fun.
every shot is
Wasn't
like a
fun.
painting that's come to life, and it's just macho man, like just
It's football.
Yeah,
It's so,
yeah.
dude.
It's football. It's not.
wrestling.
It's
Yeah.
not art. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, I'll say
The
it's
Mona
art in
Lisa.
some way. Like there's definitely some
Well,
like
football's art in some way.
cinematography that's really well done. Like where each one's like a moving painting. But yeah, it's I don't know. I just really vibe with this movie. It's really good. Coming off of this and like
it.
Fight Club, I've been like doing kettlebells and I'm like I'm gonna get jacked. And like it's like
I thought the opposite. I thought it kind of felt low budget.
I
Oh.
agree.
I
Like
don't know
it
what the budget
felt
was.
everything felt like a green screen. There was a scene right at the very beginning when the 300 gather together and they're all out in the field and then they all turn around and they go to walk away and I swear they walk straight into a green screen.
that did look
Because they
pretty
walk
cheap.
straight and then pivot
Yeah,
left
no,
immediately.
I know exactly what
Like
you're
this
talking
is
about.
awful.
Yeah,
It's like
that was
put them on a
rough.
green screen, add a bunch of noise, make it sepia, and you have your movie.
You're done.
So
To your point, though, I will say there are scenes like that feel very like a stage, like a play. Like it feels. There's a lot of it where it feels like kind of set, you know.
Yeah.
But there's parts of it that feel like video game cutscene.
yeah.
But
Well,
I
that's what
think
it is.
I think it all kind of worked. Like I think he leaned into it just enough. Like, and I think maybe some parts maybe too much. But I don't know. I really like the blend of it.
Carl, your cat can't be on camera, and
she is.
we not tell the audience what its
Yeah.
name is. Yeah.
This is Cleo, and she's making some biscuits.
Making biscuits.
Aw, what a good girl.
$65 million budget, Nick. And it made 461 million at the 456.1 million at the box office. So
I'm confused. 'cause
mean-
I feel like you didn't really like it that much when
So-
we watched it. I feel like you were like, meh.
for part of the here's some of it, while I was watching it, I got fonder for me afterwards.
Okay.
And so a lot of what I was kind of iffy on while I was watching it is I wanted to know, my nerd brain wanted to know, I couldn't remember a lot of the actual historical events of the Battle of Thermopylae. So I was going, oh, I wonder if the ships were actually taken out by a storm. Oh, I wonder if the Oracle worked the same way that it worked in the movie. Nope. I want, and stuff like that.
They weren't sex slaves.
And also, I was really distracted for the first 20 minutes by the fact that Faramir was narrating it. And then I went, oh, this is a post Lord of the Rings movie. So, and I don't think it aged nearly as well as Lord of the Rings did. And I wonder if a lot of that is Lord of the Rings being largely practical / miniature versus
this is so stylized. Anytime you do something that's that far into one direction, it's going to date itself.
Horribly unfair comparison to compare it to Lord of the Rings, but that was in my head a little bit. But it's a stupid great movie. I thought it was fun. I had a fun time watching it. It's not nearly as good as like almost anything else we've watched, but
it's not brilliant.
No, I took two notes. Great. I took two notes the whole time, and one of them was nobody told me this whole movie was narrated by Faramir. Because it's just like it wasn't a movie that I felt the need to take notes on because I'm like, this movie's awesome. It's just that dude just got decapitated. This is lit. I don't know. I had a good time. I did refer to Leonidas as Gerard Butler for the whole movie. So every time like something bad happened, I was like, Gerard. And it was cracking Danielle out.
Gerard, what are you doing?
Gerard. No. I like that the movie premiered at the Austin Butt Numathon.
What?
Butt Numathon. I don't know. Some movie festival called Butt Numathon. I guess because your butt gets
That's why we got the butt scene.
The butt scene.
Oh, we saw Gerard Butler's
saw the butt.
They all cheered when that
must have been a requirement to get into the festival.
Gerard Butler. Butler.
Nice.
Gerard Butler.
Oh my God.
There was a sequel that nobody watched, and they shouldn't.
Oh, no shot. I'm watching that.
Rise of an Empire. We should definitely watch it.
No.
We'll watch that for your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Please don't sing Happy Birthday. I'm trying. I had a thought. I had a place to go. But the sex scene was so bad.
It was pretty bad.
That was the worst part of the movie. Because it was like I've never had anything crammed down my throat, phrasing, as hard in a movie as hard as that sex scene. Like they really, really let that keep happening.
Slow motion, baby.
I was just thinking, like, who is loving this? Who's the?
Sure, Gerard didn't hate it, but yeah.
I mean, yeah. But like, who's watching that movie and going out of the theater and going, it was my favorite shit? I love that sex scene, bro. Like nobody's doing
dude,
that.
we're gonna stop bringing you to the movies, man. You're not.
Cameron, you were 16 when this came out. I'm sure there were plenty of 16-year-olds.
I was 11.
That was great.
I was 11 years old.
I was 16. Yeah. Someone said 16.
Carl, maybe?
Probably Carl. He's old.
I was in high school. Yeah, I was 16, I think.
Yeah, I was 11.
Yeah, I guess you can't go that far into the slow motion fight scenes and not have at least one slow motion love scene. Be like, all right,
dude, everything is slow motion.
Yeah, slow mo.
If you take the slow mo out of this movie, it's half the time.
It's an hour long.
That's because slow motion is
like,
cool.
Crap. We gotta make this longer.
First slow motion scene when they break out of the little bottleneck and it's Leonidas going through and just bashing people with his shield and slow mo and he like gets they pan up when he's got the spear and he throws it and it follows him and hits the guy and I'm like, oh, he got two people with that spear shot.
Man,
like,
everything that the fight scene at the beginning of Gangs of New York got wrong, this movie got right.
I thought about
it. And you know what it got right? Because it used way more slow motion.
Yeah.
And just was
way
cooler.
better choreography,
just
way more blood.
To Carl's point, slow motion made that scene better. But the slow motion of the queen just dragging her hand through water, pointless. And you do it so much that it loses its effect.
What do you want her just to go like really fast.
What was the point?
Yeah, what's
Because
the point?
earth and water, that's what they wanted. That's what the
Yeah,
Persians
that's
wanted as a symbol.
I'm the queen.
Earth and water. Give me a glass of water, and everything will be fine.
She was not taking it for granted. She was slowly going through it. And she was appreciating what her husband was fighting for. Come on, Nick.
Yeah, you want her to splish splash in the bath? Like, what do you want?
Maybe cut the scene. I don't know.
No. You're too
No.
harsh on this movie.
There was no
That'd be
fluff in this
ridiculous.
movie.
Man, this is the wrongest you've been since Casablanca.
No, okay. Casablanca might have been better than this.
I mean, it was. There's no
Yeah.
one
Why
to
does it
say.
matter?
No one on
Not
planet
an argument
Earth
that anyone's gonna make.
would
yeah.
argue that this is like, you know what had more cultural significance than Casablanca? Zack Snyder's 300. No one's ever said that. I think you should go to jail if that's your honest opinion.
Right.
Straight to jail.
Straight
Right
Let's
to
talk about
No
the point of the movie, which was to watch
Enlighten me.
people die in a really cool way a lot.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing that this movie had. Was a real military flex. I really enjoyed it. The movie deviates from history a lot, often, and one of the ways that it does deviate is for most of the fighting, it shows us the 300 Spartans, and then those other dudes that they had watch the Shepherd's Path, which is where the Persian army ends up coming from. In reality, they had like several thousand people, all led by the 300. But there were several. I mean, they all got. In fact, they all didn't actually get slaughtered. The final stand was just the 300. Leonidas sent the rest of them away, and just went. Only the 300 need to essentially die here.
But it was a farmer that revealed.
It was a farmer that
path.
revealed the Shepherd's Path, not Old Hunchy. He didn't actually exist. Xerxes being a god king was real, but that's happened all over. Like pharaohs were god kings, you know.
Although I heard they would never refer to themselves as God King in one of the little fast fact things they give you.
That's
I don't know
probably
if that's
true. I don't
Yeah.
know enough to speak on that, but like viewing the person in charge as a deity is like super common through history. So, but the importance of him being a god king was like, I guess that was the significance of the spear shot to the face he got was like, we made the king
good
bleed.
scene.
So
Yeah.
he's not.
Foreshadowing too.
Yeah, like yeah. So, that was cool. But dude, the fight scenes were sick. I love the phalanx formation stuff, just shielding down and the we will fight in the shade thing.
Oh,
A
that was
lot.
great.
So, real quote from history. A lot of the
I heard that one
a cou-
and the come and get them one.
Yep, that one also real quote from history. A couple of the badass quotes in this movie
Sick.
were real. Because this moment in history was so like final stands are always neat, and this is like the final stand of all final stands.
Yeah, this
So
is like a
it's-
very David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Like,
That was the one redeeming thing about this movie for me was it was very quotable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
it's
the
quotable.
shade one was good. Our arrows will blot out the sun.
Yep.
Then we'll fight in the shade.
yeah.
At the end, I forget his name, but one of the 300 goes, "It's an honor to die at your side," and then the king
Oh,
goes, "It's
man.
an honor to have lived at yours."
Wasn't
yeah.
that the captain said that?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that was
the
Michael
teeth guy.
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what he was, but he was enthusiastic, to say the least, to go to war.
And then at the end, the king going, "Spartans, ready your breakfast and eat hearty, for tonight
Yep.
we dine in
Oh.
hell."
Yeah.
Tonight we dine
Which
in
for
hell.
Cameron is just Olive Garden.
Oh, don't bring up Olive Garden, which is the worst restaurant in the world. I'm not going to go into a full-fledged Olive Garden rant because I don't want to
No.
scream until my throat bleeds, and I'm just waiting.
So the audience can just assume Cameron loves Olive
I'm
Garden.
waiting for Olive Garden to be referenced in a movie we watch, and then I'm going to go postal. There are two restaurants I hate in this world, Olive Garden and Popeyes. And Popeyes and me are beefing. You hear me, Popeyes? Never again. Our Popeyes is actually closed down.
Not
I
a
hope
sponsor.
it never reopens.
No, they're rebuilding it.
I hope they don't.
We also
I hope
don't
like
want
a
Popeyes.
bunch of workers get like cursed or something. Like
Cursed?
yeah, and they're like, this building's cursed. We can't build it. We can never serve love that chicken from Popeyes ever again.
Love that chicken from
Stupid
Popeye.
restaurant. I'll never eat there again as long as I live. Popeyes couldn't actually pay me to eat there. I'm that angry at them.
I
They
mean,
couldn't
it's
pay
no
you.
Lee's, but whatever.
Lee's sucks too. It's right next to Zaxby's, so who cares about it? Zaxby's is the best. Chick-fil-A can also suck my ass.
chicken
Back to
should
this
be.
movie though. The stacking the bodies in the wall was super cool. I loved that. Like using the Persian bodies as mortar. The intimidation tactics were just sick.
Yeah. This movie's so good.
It's just so good. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's a dumb fun watch. I loved it. I didn't love it, but I thought it was great.
It's exactly like Roadhouse, where it's just kind of a
Yes.
fun watch.
Don't
like
even.
This
it's not as fun.
No,
it's just
the
it's not as funny
campiness-
and goofy. It's more
Right.
the campy is more violent and grandiose drama.
Yeah,
Like
it's more like Dude Bro. It's the Hooters of movies. You know what I mean? And whereas Roadhouse is like campy, like sexy, you know, this movie is like gruff and it's like peak toxic
Uber masculine.
masculinity. Yeah. But if you take that in the time frame, like I think it's great. I don't think it holds up well. But
It's true. This was.
I don't think it ages too well.
2006?
Yeah, maybe not.
2006. Think
Seven?
of how
2007.
different 2006 was. Think of the
Yeah.
things that we said as insults, casual insults in 2006.
Just as not even insults, just
yeah.
saying it.
Yeah. Oh, I dropped
Like,
my pencil. That's
Yeah.
R-worded. Like
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the world you've got to
Yeah.
teleport yourself back into to watch 300. And I think with that knowledge, it holds up a little better. I don't know. I had a good time watching it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do you really hate it that bad?
I got to the end of it and was just like, I don't know what I just watched.
What?
It really bothered me that I didn't know or care about any of the characters at the end of a 2-hour
That
movie.
seems crazy to me. I cared about like what's the dude that gets his head cut off? The captain.
God, that was-
His son's name. I
That
can't
was
remember.
predictable.
That was
The second I saw
Astanos.
him,
Of course, it was predictable.
Yeah.
Of course.
As soon as he freeze framed, I was like, he's dead.
Well, even before
Yeah.
that, as soon as he rushed forward with
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender's character, like you're like, of course Astanos is gonna die because he's the captain's son. It's obvious, but it's still like, I don't know. It felt impactful in a way. It really moved the captain's.
I was like heartbroken. I was like, no, the captain.
Yeah,
it was
and then when the
exactly
captain-
because
captain
it was in slow mo.
Yeah.
when the captain went
Yeah.
super berserk after
Yeah.
that, it was lit.
Yeah.
I don't know how Leonidas's whole leadership arc and just the way that how revered he is and spitting
Him fighting on the front lines with them.
Yeah.
Leading the charge.
spitting
yeah.
in the face of
Yeah.
an immense force and like
Yeah.
I thought that stuff was cool. I don't know how you can't end up caring, at least at a shallow level, about some of these characters. Like the deaths felt impactful to me. I thought that the last stand, the actual final part, would be a little more drawn out.
Really?
Um,
I mean, it was pretty. Oh wait, you mean like the last like?
when they all
When they all
die
die.
at the
Okay.
very end.
Oh.
So the last part,
Yeah.
like sure, it was drawn out because it was drawn out in real life. Probably it
Right.
took a couple days.
As we learned.
And but what I expected was like more one by one, like slow motion, like deaths, you know.
Oh.
And
I'm not mad that we
Like in
didn't get
gangs.
that.
like yeah,
So-
yeah.
I did like the ending there, with all the arrows coming at the king.
Oh, that was a great shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of upset though, Cameron, because you told me the other day, you're like, spoiler alert, they all die at the end. It's
Well,
history. I didn't know that though,
it's not my fault that you
And I-
forgot what history
Listen,
class was.
but you knew I didn't know that.
No, I didn't.
I've gone 30 years. I could have gone another week.
No, it's
It would have
It's-
been more. I would have liked it a little more if I didn't
it's
know that was
kind of
coming.
insane to me that through this movie in the 16, 17 years it's been out, the movie alone, like it's the 300. It's the last stand at Thermopylae. I thought that was absolutely common knowledge. It's the
No.
greatest last stand in literal history.
I didn't even know that Spartans were like a city. I thought they were. I don't know what I thought they were.
Oh my gosh, maybe you're all just maybe I'm just that much smarter than you.
Oh no, wait! I thought
At
Spartans
least-
were a race, not a city.
It'll
Nope. They're Greek.
So I learned something
Yeah.
watching this movie.
It's all in Greece. I'd like to go to Thermopylae. I think that'd be fun.
I just
Leonidas' grave, by the way, they exhumed him, and he's actually buried in Sparta somewhere.
Oh,
In present day Greece, his grave still stands. You can go visit it.
wow.
Wow.
Interesting.
It's a little crumbly, but it's there. He actually died and was wounded. He wasn't the last one to die in reality. They actually like dragged him to safety where he died. But yeah,
R.I.P.
I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. It was a fun movie. I liked it.
That's an opinion.
I didn't like. Here's what I
Let's see
didn't
if I have
like.
any other
Here's what I
notes.
didn't like. I didn't like the giant.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like Ol Hunchy. I didn't like some
No.
of the more,
The more grotesque
mystical
kind of
stuff.
things they did. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt to me like, remember when in Lord of the Rings they had those orcs? What if we did that? You know?
Yeah.
That stuff. The more of this, supernatural is not the right word, but maybe it is.
It was mystical, maybe.
Yeah. Like
Like the giant.
I could have
Or not
gone with
giant.
less Dungeons and Dragons characters in my 300 movie.
And the guys at the beginning of the movie, I forget what they were called, where he had to climb the mountain to get to him.
The dudes that were in charge of
They
the
were
Oracle,
so
whatever they were.
weird.
So that,
Which,
I mean,
by the way, I was also just super upset that this man had to climb a mountain just to get to a staircase. Like, why not just build the staircase down the mountain? Anyways.
it takes a long time to build stairs, and you gotta.
Yeah, like, do
chisel.
those guys never leave?
They
Because
started at the
they're not going
top?
to be able to get down.
Yeah, they started. They helicoptered in, and then
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
went down.
Helicopters.
Yeah,
Those were around.
sure. They used their oracle magic to get up on the top of the mountain.
That's fair.
Yeah, and those dudes being all
Probably.
gross was, I don't know. I could have gone
Yeah.
without some of those details,
Yeah.
but I guess it makes it. Maybe that was how the graphic novel was. So who am I to say?
This is going to make for
yeah.
a fun episode. The alarm's going off, so carry on, y'all.
And we're back. Nick, was the building on
Hi.
fire?
The building is not on fire. The alarm was set. Someone left and didn't see my name on the board of people still here.
Oh, so when
So I'm
you
really out of breath,
he ran.
but we're good.
He ran like the Persians ran at the phalanx and then all got stabbed.
Oh.
The
Phalanx
way they
is
should have ran back home when they knew they were going to die.
back
Ooh.
home. No,
Whatever.
Back home to Sparta.
Sparta. Let's do star ratings. Let's do star ratings and get into reviews. Let's start with Danielle
Me.
and Phoebe.
And Phoebe, yes, everybody.
This is Phoebe. This
Phoebe,
is the
Phoebe,
animal.
I love you,
episode.
Phoebe.
Now that we're in chairs, our dogs can assault us
Yes.
in the podcast by jumping
and
on our legs.
demand the attention.
She
because
keeps like staring right at the camera. It's awesome. All right, go ahead with the
she's
star
a
rating.
Star. Okay, so my star rating. So this movie, as you know, wasn't my favorite, but
Boo.
I didn't have the same like absolute hatred of it that I did for Gangs of New York.
Yeah, because there are hot guys in it.
And there's arguably hot guys in Gangs of New York too, right?
No. I'm not looking at
No?
Liam Neeson and going, hubba
All
hubba.
right. He's dead though. He's not even in the movie really.
Liam Neeson's not.
It was
dead.
all right.
Liam Neeson's not hot either, so either way. But I liked the way
He's pretty smoking in Phantom Menace.
little Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked how you put it that this movie knows what it is.
Yeah.
Like Gangs of New York wanted to be a serious like drama movie. This knows it's a guy dude movie. So
Hated that movie. Sorry, Carl.
yeah, and I also am aware that I'm not the target audience for this movie. So you know, it is what it is, but I'm going to give it a 1.5. I didn't really, I mean, I was like, this is fine.
Ugh.
Like, it was just one big fight scene.
Yes.
And I looked at my phone during it, but I was like, I'm kind of glad that it's just one big fight scene because I don't have to try to pay attention.
This is the
like, I can look at my phone and not care.
second movie you've looked at your phone during.
What did
right?
we watch? No, I didn't look during Django.
No.
I wanted to look at my phone during Citizen Kane.
That's right, but you didn't. Okay.
I didn't. Cause
So this
Citizen
pushed
Kane
past Citizen Kane and got a phone
No.
look.
Well, yeah, but because Citizen Kane, I wanted to pay attention to see what was happening because it's, you know,
Gotcha.
a big deal or whatever.
So it was it was you gave it a looked at my phone out of 5.
Yeah. This is a nice 1.5. Citizen Kane, I think I gave it 2. So.
all right. Well,
Oof.
whatever. Carl.
All right. Well, I genuinely love the movie. I think
Same.
it's
No, I'm with you.
fantastic. I think it's a good, is it a masterpiece in film? No, but it's a fun movie. It's a great summer blockbuster. It's a good, like, just drinking movie or just a feel good movie kind of. I will say, I think
It's a
the
feel-good
political,
movie.
yeah, the political stuff wasn't really moving for me in the same way that the rest was. But you got to look at the context of the movie. It's like this is a fight movie. Like the politics is kind of a backseat B story kind of thing. But I didn't feel like that was as captivating or whatever.
Sure.
But I think the stylization was fantastic. I thought all the slow-mo scenes were great. I thought the sound design was really good. The way they kind of brought in, like, I didn't mind because there was a lot of like modern treatments to like distorted sound. Like when Xerxes would scream, they kind of like broke the
His
it was
whole
like a
voice
muted
was
kind of
like
and like
treated.
his voice was kind of, but I didn't. That felt almost mythical to me. So it felt like
he's a god
it,
king.
it set well with it.
They
I
even
wrote-
slow mode his voice.
Yeah. But I thought it was like, visually stunning, I wrote down, I had a note that this movie is like cigarettes. I know it's probably bad
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And it's culturally, frowned upon, but it's just so cool looking.
So cool.
That was my main takeaway. I think I'm going to give this movie a 4. I think I really enjoy it. It's really well done. It leans into the style perfectly. I think, the theme of the movie being an epic really vibes well with the way that it's kind of put together and the design choices they made. So I really enjoyed it. I'll be quoting it for a long time, I'm sure. But yeah, I'll pass it on from there.
I'll take it. I also liked it. I thought it was fun. Cigarettes is a hilarious comparison.
Yeah,
That's-
because it's kind of trashy, but it's still
Yeah.
kind of like it still does it for you if you're in the mood,
That's
Like,
right.
it's
That's right. This is.
Yeah.
I
But
enjoyed
at the
it.
end of the day, it's terrible.
No, incorrect. I thought it was great. I think
Well, at the
it-
end of the day, it'll kill you.
I think it met my expectations. I think it met my expectations pretty much. Is a fun movie. Is a brain off movie, and I like a brain off movie. I don't know if I'd watch it again tomorrow, but I'd watch it again. I thought Gerard Butler was hilariously over the top in a good way. I liked the stylization. I never even for a second thought about the slow-mo. It wasn't heavy-handed to me. I didn't even notice it. It just was like a good part of the narrative, I guess, to me. Fight scenes were great. It was violent enough, I think. It wasn't over the top violent. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the most violent two scenes were the tree and the wall to me. Like like
Yeah.
the display of dead bodies was kind of
A
violent.
bit icky.
Yeah, like a close up a guy getting decapitated, but other than that, it wasn't too gruesome.
But even decapitations are fine with me. There were
Yeah.
a couple decapitations.
Decapitation's fine with me.
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't
okay.
we didn't have to see the actual historical truth of Leonidas being decapitated and having his head impaled on a spike, which is what the Persians did to
Yeah.
him.
I'm glad
Uh,
you got to watch that.
So I thought the ending was very satisfactory with what's his face that they sent away with the eye patch that Leonidas told to basically go tell and rally the rest of the Greeks, because the Greece at that point was broken up into little like mini kingdoms, and there was infighting there, and like, oh, our little place is gonna surrender to the Persians, and Athens was like, we don't know what to do. They actually called on Sparta for help, and whatnot. So that was cool to see the big, like, there's 10,000 Spartans leading an army of hundreds of thousands against the tens of thousands against the Persians. That was a cool ending. I don't want to watch the sequel. No, thank you. I liked it though. It was ripped dudes doing ripped dude stuff, and I'm for that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
3.
I enjoyed it. The end. It's a 3
All
out of, I can't put it on the same level as Roadhouse or
I think Casablanca was a 4 for you.
yeah, it's not better than Casablanca. I didn't
Oh,
enjoy
God,
it
did
as
I
much
rank
as
it the same as
Casablanca.
Casablanca?
I think you gave Casablanca 4.5.
Okay, well that's not much better.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I've
you
said
enjoyed
what I
it though.
said. I enjoyed it.
It's an
My
enjoyment
scale
scale.
is like how much did I enjoy it? Yeah,
Yeah,
and this was
I think it's
way
how,
up there.
That's how all of
Yeah.
our scales work. Is an enjoyment.
Oh, I had one
scales.
more note before
Go ahead.
Nick. I'll say that I thought the casting of Gerard Butler, this was a once in a lifetime role for him. I feel like he embodied that Leonidas perfectly. I thought he did. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the way his delivery, like I thought his energy was perfect. Like I thought it was perfect. Chef's kiss.
It was his first
Yeah.
big role, I think.
Was it?
Except
Yeah.
for the
First big
Phantom of
action
the
role, I'm
Opera.
sure.
Oh,
It
Phantom,
was
who
No.
cares about
Fassbender's
Phantom of the Opera?
first big role
This is
in a movie.
He's
Fassbender's
been in like
Keith's first
romantic
big role.
comedies and stuff.
in a movie. Yeah, he was in
Wow,
some TV shows, but
good for Fassbender's Teeth getting a big role at 300.
It's funny because the helmet kind of looks like Magneto's, which is what he
Oh, he
went on
was
to play.
Magneto
Yeah.
In, like,
that's
the
what I
new-
know.
in
him
the
as.
like was that like X-Men First Class or whatever
Yeah.
that one was?
Whenever they
There's
were
a
young
billion of
again,
them.
yeah.
I've only ever seen X2. That's it. It's the
I
only
liked
Days of
X-Men
Future
movie I've seen.
Past,
Class.
excellent movie.
Maybe one day, but they're superhero movies, and that goes against my rule. Although I like Wolverine as a character,
Well, Wolverine's
Yeah.
not in the new ones, really.
Well,
The
that
Deadpool
sucks.
movies.
but also Hugh Jackman's too tall to play Wolverine.
Hugh
Who cares?
Jackman?
Nick, what did you think of the movie?
Um,
Hugh Jackman. Yeah, that's right.
I feel like I've made myself clear here, but just in case you didn't know, I thought this movie was absolute trash.
Hey.
It was all fluff, man. I didn't follow, and maybe this is just me not knowing history well, not knowing what was really happening. I'll admit that. But like, there was no significance to any of the battles other than they're just gonna kill these guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's called war.
how?
Okay.
Okay, but this
we've
is also
seen-
called a movie, and you need something.
We've seen better war movies.
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
The point of the movie is watch these guys die.
All right.
I also
Well, they
found
don't
myself
like it.
going. I also found myself going. Is there really a scenario where 300 men are gonna defeat all of these people without one of them dying? I mean, they started dying there towards the end, but in the first couple battles, none of them died.
And like, when did they take a
And
nap?
maybe that was history. I don't know. Again, I'll admit it.
At
I don't.
night, when
they
the
stopped
Persians
fighting at night.
when the Persians when they're super rich
They
tents.
were,
All right.
they were tired.
It's like, when did they take
Well,
a
it's, you
break?
can't see.
Yeah,
Um,
you can't see.
All
it.
right.
There's no lights.
The
There's no
moon.
flashlight.
The moon's bright if there's
All
no
right, I mean,
light.
yeah,
Like-
but like
It was a season of the full moon, so maybe they could have.
Full moon.
y'all need to watch if you want character development. Y'all need to watch Gladiator, but it's actually kind of disappointing that you went into it expecting.
They told you, yeah, everything you need to know at the
masterpiece.
very
I
beginning.
mean, I didn't
Yeah.
expect a
They told you
masterpiece.
Leonidas was born. If he had been deformed or small, they would
almost
have
like-
cast him out.
like
and then
I,
he fought the wolf. That's
like
all you
I
need
expect
to know.
my mom to not like this movie, right? Because she just is my mom. But Nick, I actually thought he would. But I think
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you
did-
should have been
I
a
thought-
little
I kind of
informed
thought you
going
would
in.
too. I
Maybe-
didn't know.
Yeah, maybe I went into it looking for not a historical movie, but just a good war movie. And I wanted to feel for the characters more. I wanted to know more of their backstory. And
Yeah,
I
that's
just
not this
didn't
movie.
get that.
It's
and
not this
To
movie.
me, that made the plot feel weak.
You didn't see him playing with his son?
Come on.
Yeah.
That wasn't
That's-
enough for you?
No.
No.
Not
How
if I'm
much do you
supposed
need
to
to
feel for
know?
it. Not if at the end of the movie I'm supposed to get emotional at the son going up to the mom to learn that his dad died. If that's what's supposed to happen, then I need more
not.
info about the son.
It's not what you're
I'm
supposed to
just
feel
more
at the end of the
sensitive
movie.
than you are.
At the end of the movie, you're supposed to go, "What a cool sacrifice." That's literally it.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the movie, I was Trevor Carrington and I went, and that was all.
Well,
Well, you
I
have the
thought.
payoff. Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I thought that the way the movie was filmed, you guys keep calling it cool and artistic.
stylized is what we're calling it.
I thought it was distracting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, sure.
I thought it was distracting. It took away from the little plot that I felt was there.
Oh, man.
I don't know, man. And then I know this is a war movie and it's factual, but they all die at the end. It was just
Yeah.
a bummer.
It's a bummer.
don't
I mean, didn't you like Rogue One?
Well,
But there was so much more
Hang
story to
on.
Rogue One. Oh my god, you can't even.
We
compare
don't
it.
have time to unpack that,
I would
Carl.
argue that there's less story to Rogue One. Rogue
No
One is
way.
Rogue One is
No way.
Let's get. Oh well, that's true. They've got the whole
They both
spark a
the
rebellion.
dad side, but behind that, it's Let's get
They both
those plans.
face
But
insurmountable
there's
odds.
so much more like backstory to her and her dad and her journey.
Sure. What, do you
So-
want to like go back in
We saw
time to get
Leonidas
that about
grow and
Leonidas?
become a Spartan.
Like we're going
But
off
that's
of
why we didn't like the movie.
we're going
Like,
off
I
of
don't know.
2,500-year-old information.
Make
I
it
just
up.
don't know.
Make it up.
If there's a way to watch a movie wrong, I think Nick did it. In that
No.
the expectations were like way off for what I don't know. I feel like even like I'd never seen the movie either, but I knew what kind of movie it was. I knew
I
we're
did
gonna watch
too.
300 Dudes Croak,
Yeah.
and it's going to be an action movie. Like it wasn't gonna be. We're not watching a stage play. We're watching football, but with swords, and these guys are gonna lose because there's less of them.
But doesn't-
And there's tactics behind it. It's like, hey, we're going to go into this narrow corridor that makes their numbers dominance less of a thing. We are way more trained fighters compared to Persians. In fact, he says that about the other dudes. It's like, I brought more soldiers than you because you're a baker and you're a potter, you know, and you're a blacksmith, and all Spartans do is raise to be killed. They're fighting machines. That's the backstory that you needed to get is the Spartans, all they do is kill people. They breed to murder. And so you're watching 300 murder machines do murder machine stuff.
I just
Well, that's
I
not enjoyable.
felt like
It's
they
great.
could have
It's super
done
great.
No.
I felt like they could have done a better job at doing exactly what you just said.
I thought they did a perfect job of it.
Yeah,
I thought
I
it was
think
a
they
great
did. They
dumb
nailed it.
action movie. It's a dumb, simple, like in order to give you more of what you want, you get less action, and I think that's a worse movie.
Oh my god, there was like an hour and a half of action.
Yeah, exactly. It's an action movie. You're watching the 300 at
But the action
Thermopylae.
wasn't even a lot of action.
Yeah,
It was
I
just,
think
like,
they introduced you to
stab.
It was
Leonidas
so
and
much
what he has
stabbing.
to
What do
go
you
through.
want? A nuke?
And you know
That's
all
not
300 of them
action.
had to go through a similar thing.
That's not like.
And then so that's all the
sword fighting.
backstory you need.
It's
Like-
688 BC. It's sword fighting and poking.
Yeah, but it was just poking. Like it wasn't.
It wasn't just poking though. It's the phalanx.
like Pirates
That's
of the Caribbean had better choreographed fight scenes.
it's a fictional thing.
So.
What do we know about the Spartans? We know how they're upright. We know they use
So
the
your
phalanx.
point is they can't make the action like more choreographed because we didn't know what they did. The whole
No, we
movie
do
was
know what they did.
choreographed.
hyperbole.
But what we know what they did is the phalanx formation, which they did, and it was sick. And a bunch
that
of
was cool.
and fighting in a narrow
I feel
corridor
like you're
to
saying we're
protect
not allowed
Greece.
to not like this movie.
No, I'm just saying that like the
You didn't think there was
critiques-
choreographed
The critiques
stuff?
are odd to me, is what I'm saying. Is like what the movie's called 300. The movie's not called Leonidas. If the movie was called Leonidas, I would grant you the character development thing. But I didn't leave it going, I wish I knew more about Leonidas's favorite color. Like I watched that
Saying
dude
that.
croak defending
It's got to be crimson.
Greece. And then his sacrifice at the end inspires all of Greece to come together
Yeah.
and beat the hell out of the Persians, and it's why
It
we
didn't
have
inspire them. They had to.
no. They
The
did.
Persians killed the king,
didn't.
and they had to defend. They had to go to war.
Incorrect. That was one of the kings of one of the Greek states. When Leonidas sends that dude out, he rallies all of Greece. All of Greece comes together.
Yeah, he's a
Greece was
unifying
not
force.
united. All of Greece comes together and pushes the Persians out because of they were inspired by the 300 at Thermopylae. That's the history. They didn't have to do that. There were already Greek states that surrendered to the Persians before the Battle of Thermopylae. And in fact, they had beat the Persians back before at Darius the First, and that's where we got the Battle of Marathon and all that stuff in history. That happened before Thermopylae. So no, incorrect.
Well, it's not even my
Well-
critique. It's Nick's. I'm trying to help
I'll-
defend
No,
I'll
you.
you're
be
the
the
only one in the
first-
room, so
I'll be the
I will
first.
say, go ahead. What are you saying?
I'll be the
Nick?
first to admit I don't have 100% of the history down. Like I didn't know a lot going into it about what actually happened.
I
But
don't know that
from
that's
a
that
movie
important,
standpoint,
though.
I don't think you can just stab people for 2 hours and it be a good movie.
oh,
I agree.
no. I think there's tons of movies
Anyways,
like this.
moving on to my star review. I wanted to give it a 3 for 300 really bad going into it, but I can't do it.
Oh no.
Was it gonna be?
So out of 5 Speedos, I will give it 2 Speedos.
Oh,
That's actually
Nice.
better than I
That's
thought
a
you were going to give it.
2?
I thought you would rank this worse than I don't remember what your 1 star was.
Did you
Was it
see John Wick,
Casablanca?
Nick?
And Nick
No.
Casablanca
Okay,
2.5.
I'm trying to think of other
2.5.
movies that are mostly like action like that
Transformers.
have kind of loose story woven through, but
I mean,
yeah.
I liked Transformers.
Transformers is a man buys a car. That's
Yeah, but
that
I feel
whole
like
movie.
There was more to it.
That's that whole movie. A man buys a car. No historical,
yelling at me.
no
Stop
historical
yelling at me.
significance. Shia LaBeouf, the guy from Halls, buys a car, and
I like
everyone's like,
Halls.
"Oh, this is a better movie than 300." Dumb. I liked 300.
Well,
I'm not saying it's
that.
a better movie. I'm just saying I liked Transformers more.
I think that this movie is a. I think that what you guys would like is Gladiator, which is
Alright.
it has the character development.
Mhm.
It's not based in reality at all, and it's the story of a general that falls and ends up being like a crazy gladiator and has a one-on-one fight with an emperor. It's excellent. That's your character development movie. But expecting Gladiator going into 300 is insane.
I didn't expect that though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Seen Gladiator. How could I do that?
Well, that's the kind of movie you expected.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think it's really unfair to go.
I just
the
figured you would
stabbing
like it
movie."
because it was very stylized and designed.
Yeah, I thought you would
I
like it
figured
because
you
of
would
the looks.
like appreciate, the aesthetic.
Yeah, I thought you'd go fun action movie, guys, and we'd be like, yeah, look at all those abs and stabbing. It was lit.
Gerard Butler.
We really haven't had like a
full
full-on action movie though yet.
No.
We've had Roadhouse was semi-action, but not really.
This is, I think, the only action movie on
Yeah.
the list.
Yeah.
I'm not a big action movie guy either, which is why this one reels me in with the historical context because I'm a huge nerd.
This one works because it's
Imagine
so
you
over the
didn't have
top.
that, which is where I'm at.
There's no planet. In
I
which
didn't have
wouldn't
that.
have
I don't really know the history, and I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, because it's a good action movie. It's a good dumb action movie. A bunch of people get stabbed, and there is a story to it. There is backstory. The whole subplot of the betrayal at the.
We're not
at
going to
the-
sway on camera.
No,
This
we're
is
not.
you
We're
against
not.
the world,
We're
man.
circling.
You know
Yeah.
what? 5-star movie.
Yeah.
6-star movie. This is the best movie I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
300
Oh, God.
stars.
Oh, let's pick
Oh,
a
300 stars.
300 stars. God, man, we're gonna
Ridiculous.
Carl. We're gonna
Maybe
start.
me and Cameron can
yeah, we're
rally
gonna
a
start
troop
the
together and
the
inspire
slightly
the.
smaller room and
Wow.
review action movies.
Oh my. Get
We'll go
outta
through the
here.
John Wick series and all of them. The Born Ultimatum.
Oh,
and
I want to put.
Born
I wanted to
Supremacy.
put John
Yeah.
Wick on this.
Me and
I like
Danielle
John
will
Wick.
watch movies that make us question our lives.
All y'all watch John Wick. Go, the dog dies. That's it. That's why he does all this. That's so dumb.
Come on.
I have a movie.
Spoiler alert.
I have the
Alrighty.
next movie. Yeah, what? Did they kill his dog 4 times? There's how many
John
John Wick
Wick?
movies?
I have no
This
idea.
guy, they've got to stop letting that guy adopt
From
dogs. if that's
someone
the
who's
case.
never seen a movie, you give so many spoilers so flippantly.
I don't know.
Reads
But
the plot of
I
all
live
of
in
them.
America. I don't know. There's memes on Reddit about John Wick's dog dying. I don't know.
if that's a
I'm
spoiler.
very
That's
online.
I think that's the very first one.
I'm very
and then
online.
or the second one, maybe.
I don't know.
Person might be
Chronically,
his
being
wife.
chronically online,
Yeah.
you can't help but be exposed to this stuff. Anyway, I picked a freaking movie, and I picked a what is it called? I just read it and I lost it. Singing in the Rain.
Oh.
Ah.
So maybe there will be enough singing in the rain for you
This
in that one or
is
whatever.
my wheelhouse.
Yeah, this is actually Danielle's
I
wheelhouse.
love
That's
movie
a
musicals.
musical?
It's a musical.
A musical?
I don't know a lot
Oh,
about it.
Wow, we're
from-
going from like the Macho Man stylized
All I've
action
done
drama
sat
to
through all these boy
musical.
movies.
I'm gonna give
I'm
this movie
excited.
1 star. This movie 1 star despite.
Yeah.
Are you
I don't know. There wasn't enough.
There was no action.
Yeah,
Wasn't
wasn't
enough
enough
rain.
rain for me. For a movie called Singing in the Rain, there wasn't enough rain.
bullshit?
There's
Get
too
out
much
of
Expected
here.
singing.
more
Get out of
rain.
here.
Right.
No
I
one
wanted-
said for a
I
movie called
wanted-
300 there wasn't 300. No one said that.
I wanted to know the rain's backstory. Like, where did it start, and then how did it enter the water cycle and fall?
Wow.
Uh,
You're being mean. tonight.
this whole podcast is gonna fall apart. We
I'm
gotta
not
stay
here
together.
to
It's a
entertain.
good movie.
I'm done.
I don't like
Yeah.
it.
It's a good movie.
walking
300
out.
300 was good.
Watch these movies by yourself.
I would. I did. I watched. Watched Good, the Bad, the Ugly by myself. It was great. You weren't even there. It was awesome. I lit an oil lamp and didn't even burn the house down.
See if I
great.
cook your dinners, clean your
Cook me
house.
dinners,
Yeah.
please. Just eat cheeseburgers every day. We have a Chipotle now.
Good luck
I don't
with
need
that.
you. All right. And with that, we're gonna watch a musical, I guess. Maybe I'll. No, I'm not gonna be in a movie. Screw you guys. 300 was good. Carl,
I liked
let's
it.
go
I'd watch it again, but I have
get
to rent
abs
it.
and
But I
watch
might
300
do it. Yeah.
again.
Good luck with that.
I can't.
It's a great movie to get you ready for summer.
That's right. I want my three.
That's the best review.
We're getting those Leonidas bodies for this summer.
Yeah.
Gonna get the.
Which is what, airbrushed abs?
Yeah.
Nah, they worked for it, dude.
Yeah.
Gotta go
I
be
mean,
the-
they did some, but there's a lot of movie magic
Gonna
there
go be the
too.
king of a Greek nation to get ready for the
Yeah.
beach. Ugh.
Have a body to die for.
Man, we've never been more divided than this movie. Who knew 300 is what would drive the spike. This is the hardest we've ever disagreed.
Yeah.
And since
I think we just argued the whole time.
Gangs?
Since Gangs, but you and I were at least united on that.
that movie
against
sucks. That movie sucked. That's
Gangs
that's a
of New
bad
York,
movie.
worse than 300.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, duh.
Nick
Now you're just trying to trigger me.
Nick
No.
disagrees.
Gangs of New York was tragic.
Yeah.
That movie was Oscar bait, and I hope it didn't get any.
I don't think it did.
Good. I don't know.
Wait, who didn't think Leonidas was perfect for that role?
Gerard Butler, Danielle.
Or yeah,
You
Gene-
just said
yeah.
it was like the role of a lifetime, and I was
For
like,
him.
For him, yeah, it's the biggest
What
movie
else has
he
he
ever
been?
did.
What else is a more iconic role that
I
he
don't
could
know, I
have?
have
Like
to
that's.
look it up.
It's like for me, it was almost like up there with the Heath Ledger Joker. I mean, that I know that's way more iconic, but this Leonidas role, I was like, he nailed it. Like
I mean,
if he had died during this, like from like exhaustion or something, like this, it would have been like one of those like grandfathered into like a classic,
yeah,
cult classic.
I'm getting a 300 poster for this room. Y'all are gonna have to
You can
look
put
at it
whatever you want in here.
every episode.
I thought about doing
gonna
this
rip
one
it
with
down
just like a
when it comes.
tarp and just going shirtless, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I don't have the body yet. Maybe next year. Like,
Yeah. Getting a helmet, wearing it.
yeah.
Been awesome. All right, Singing in the Rain next. Nick, it's in theaters here, which is weird.
Yep.
It's in our local theater. So that's fortunate. We got to go watch that. We will watch Singing in the Rain. We'll get our.
Hopefully be a bit happier afterwards.
We'll all have umbrellas for the show.
And tap shoes.
See, that's all I know about Singing in the Rain is the umbrellas. So
Oh.
it better be full of umbrellas is all I'm saying. And with that, we will watch a movie and catch you in the next one.
Oh my God.
Goodbye.